because it's so hard to lose everything when you're adult, when you have your job, house, car, plans for vacations, everything, and you have to just go. And you have 15 minutes to pack your stuff and go. And you're alone.
This course, again, it's not just about self-care, help. It's about maybe something more. These sessions, they are about, not even about managing stress, they are about yourself. That is the time when you can go deeper inside yourself and ask yourself questions that you maybe sometimes not even have enough courage to ask, like when you are alone with yourself. It was like light for me, you know. I knew that it works, but it was the first real feedback, you know. And when you really can see the stages of this journey, whatever, it is like a lighthouse for me.
Це мій улюблене місто.
This is my favorite city, which I love and respect. It's very big, but in the meantime, it's so homey, beautiful, lovely, especially when the chestnuts and lilac are blooming. And I love walking streets, spending time, working there. It was all my life.
Я дуже полюбляю це.
I really love this place with all of my heart. I love our country. I miss our country. I used to work for myself. I used to spend my time wherever I want, how I want, you know. I felt free. And I didn't believe in that. I didn't believe that this crazy man will start this.
Я намагалася не панікувати, як це.
I tried not to panic as much as possible. Of course, at 4 or 5, I don't remember exactly, a.m. in the morning. We woke up with from very loud explosions. In 40 minutes, I gathered everything I could see. And I woke up my children in their pajamas. We went downstairs, and you know, actually I have a dog, and I brought all of her stuff, everything that she has, but in this hassle, we also forgot to pick her up.
It was awful. Really, it was awful because my children, they didn't want to change their clothes for a week. And even to go to the shower, and they were scared, and we spent lots of time in the basement. And so I think it was a good decision to save psychological state of my children, to bring them to the safe place.
Rosslare is a place that's used to welcoming people from all over the world. It's a historic port. But I think when the war broke out in Ukraine last February, nobody really expected what came within a couple of weeks. Hundreds of people started to arrive on ferries. We got word in mid-March that there were 87 people staying here in Hotel Rosslare, and started to work with the community to mobilise a response, because there was big humanitarian needs at that stage. People had arrived with very little. Within another day or two, we were starting to hear about up to 150, 200 people arriving on the boat from France, from Cherbourg. So we came down to the port. My colleagues in community development came down, worked with local volunteers, and started to mount a response.
When I came here to Ireland, I felt so frustrated, and I was searching for someone to give me psychological support, because I needed this support. And I have a friend, she's from Bucha, and Bucha is when you say Bucha to Ukrainian people or Mariupol, they start to cry. And this lady, when I saw her and she said she's from Bucha, I started to cry. And because she came with a child. Again,
it's okay, take your time.
So I was looking for psychological support, and I came to Family Resource Center and said, oh, actually we need support, and unfortunately they couldn't help because they had no Ukrainian speaking person qualified. Then Siobhan said, oh, actually there is a good program for psychological support and we can involve Ukrainian people. And it was amazing, really, because it's so important to know how to manage your stress and to know that people do really care about your psychological state. And I think it's brilliant.
SICAP works through networks, it works through relationships, it works over time, it works through building trust between individuals, between amongst groups, networking, bringing people together.
When my husband asked me about my job in Ireland, he said, what's your role? I said, I'm not sure exactly, but I'm sure that this organization makes the world a bit better. And it's actually true, because in Ukraine we have no such organization who supports groups or communities. You just act by yourself and no one supports you. But it's great to even know that there is someone who can support you and you just keep going. And it is so important, and then you're improving, you're inspiring and doing this world better.
When people come first, it's all about looking after their immediate needs, so shelter, food, accommodation, everything like that. But pretty quickly, if you don't intervene in time to look after people's mental health needs, you're going to end up with much higher incidences of depression and PTSD and anxiety and anger, aggression, all kinds of coping strategies that any of us would probably drift into were we to find ourselves in the same situation, having left everything behind, often left close family members, spouses, parents behind, and if we'd actually been through the war as well, or been in an occupied area. So I started to look into what was out there in terms of resources that we could use, and I came across the Self-Help Plus programme, which was developed by the World Health Organization specifically for people in this type of situation. So people experiencing adversity of any kind, but especially displacement. And I immediately thought, yes, this could work really well. It's group-based, it's a 10-hour programme, it's delivered over 5 weeks. It's completely grounded in science, I suppose, or in evidence. It's a kind of a combination of mindfulness and CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy. It's designed to be delivered in situations where you don't have, psychological or psychiatric resources on tap, and it's designed to intervene before things get worse for people.
Она эффективна, она достаточно эффективна, это прекрасно, что она есть. That is a really effective program, and that's brilliant that this program exists. Потому что люди реально нуждаются в поддержке. People really need support, they need help, and they need learn the skills that would help them to manage with the stress.
There was a lot of stigma around mental health in this country, and probably still is quite a lot. And in Ukraine, I think it's similar. So it was, I suppose, just trying to figure out how are people going to respond to this? Will they like it? Will they be open to it? Olga took a look at the materials with me, and she gave me great encouragement, because she said, no, I think you're onto something here. This is good. She started to use them a little bit herself, even with her work with children and schools. So I had the beginnings of a sense that, yeah, this could work.
Ну, однозначно есть, потому что у нас At first session we had 10 people, then 12 came, then 14. I also want to add that this program is so good. Firstly, it's designed to be delivered by people who don't have a professional background in psychology, and it's a ready-made program for people who are ready to help others in their community. I always thought that I was really strong, adequate, and I had no stress, and that I adapted literally on the second day. But about 3 months ago, I realized that I was under a lot of stress and that I hadn't seen Ireland at all. And I realized that my sleep is not good, that I have a child who is a teenager, and we began to have a lot of fights between ourselves, and I miss my husband. I haven't seen him for over more than a year. Just only 2 or 3 months ago, I realized that something was wrong and I am not okay.
It doesn't confront trauma directly at all. It's not group therapy. It's a skills-based, it's a good old SICAP skills-based program. You learn skills. In this case, it's not maybe the more traditional things we'd be doing like manual handling or safe pass. They're more those sort of what might fall into the personal development realm, I suppose, but they're the most basic things of all, really. If you're in a situation where you've had to abandon your previous life and start a new life.
It's a very good program, and I think it really helps people. I see results, even in our last session, women came to us and they said that after this program they finally can watch movies, they can sleep now, they are started to talk with other people, doesn't feel lonely anymore. That's why I think this program is really useful and helpful. Actually, even in my own experience, I had two sad news during delivering this course, and I used some of the techniques, and I know and I believe that this program should be continued because it's helpful.
We had lots of people who wanted to come back and do it again, and we don't know yet how it's going to pan out down the line. We've done 6 courses in total now and a pilot group as well, and so far it's been really encouraging. But yeah, the statistics about it say that they've done the randomised control trials on this programme in various settings in Sudan and Syria and in European countries where you have refugee populations, and at 6 months after doing the programme, the risk of depression is halved, or the risk of any mental health disorder is halved compared to a control group. So for what it is, it's a very cheap way, even if you're just to look at it from that perspective of supporting people to live better, to live well, to doing what matters in times of stress. That's the name of the booklet, and that's exactly what the emphasis is on.
I just want this program to continue, and I want to help people, because I really see that this program is working, and I see women, girls, and they are waiting, they are coming in advance before the session starts. They have their own nice chat.
Everyone said, yes, I want to join this course, but they were afraid to share their stories. Then I explained them that this is not about sharing your stories. This is all about how to live with your story and feel comfortable.